Hey everybody, it's Paul from Alexandria Knife Sharpening and Laser Engraving. This is an update for the ALX laser side. I have made the decision on what CO2 laser I want. And this was not a rash decision. This was not something, it's not even something that they are sending me. In fact, I didn't really have a whole lot of success with trying to get a CO2 laser company to even collaborate on something, which was a little surprising because many of the fiber laser companies reach out to me. As you guys know, I have a great relationship with ComMarker. I love their lasers. I think they're fantastic. And quite honestly, if ComMarker sold a big or desktop size CO2, I would probably be getting that, but they don't. And so I have had to look to other companies. At one point, I really thought I was going to go with a US based company. I was leaning towards Epilogues or Thunder Laser or Ace One or I can't think of them all. There's a bunch. There was probably 5 or 6 that I was looking at. There was a couple things that were like jumping out of me that were kind of bothering me. Then something happened the other day that really soured me a little bit. And I was like, man, did they just really do that? There was one of the top CO2 laser companies that's an American made laser sent out a sales pitch to one of my emails, and they were like, "Oh, look, our laser is great, and we're we were in the top 5, blah 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 blah." And they listed what they felt were the top, I think, 5 CO2s. And the second laser they had listed, of course, they had theirs listed first. The second one they had listed was a Glowforge. And I was like, Glowforge? Glowforge is like, they're on like the verge of going out of business. And then I realized I looked at the finer print of this, and I realized they were quoting stats from 2023. Man, lasers have changed so much since 2023 to be like, oh, look, we're in the top 5. And yeah, we pulled the data from 2023. I mean, come on. Like, and that really bothered me a lot. Like, so much so that I was like, well, they're out. I'm not looking at, I'm not like, they're not innovating. Like, and they had to go back and pull stats from 2023 because I guarantee they're not in the top 5 now in 2025. So that was a thing that bothered me. And and the one I was most interested in, and I'll just be straight up, like I wrote them and was like, hey, would you like to collaborate with my channel? I have a pretty big YouTube following. And they were basically like, no. And they just kept sending me to their sales people, which is fine. Like I if you don't want to collaborate with me, I don't care. I mean, it's not a problem. And the way my shop has always worked, if I can get something because someone wants to give it to me because they, want some free advertising and they want me to review it, and if it's a good product, and it's useful to my people, my shop, my followers, then I'll look at it. If it's really not, if it's off the mark, and I've told you guys before, like I turn down a lot of laser requests. Most of them are fiber and galvo styles because I have a knife engraving shop. So I do a lot of metal engravings. So I don't get a lot of offers from like the CO2 companies because they're not seeing me do that kind of stuff a lot. And I think that's where it is. Like they go look and they're like, well, yeah, but he's not doing anything with the CO2. Well, one of the reasons I don't do anything with the CO2 is because I don't have one in my shop. That aside, I also like the main thing that jumped out at me was like, hey, they're all living off quotes from years ago. They're not very innovative. We got so many cool things going on. And then there was one thing that was like, boom, something happened. And I saw that and I was like, that's it. I have mentioned before, I love Xtool. I really do. I love their products. I've had great success with every one of my Xtool machines. And my relationship with Xtool is, I wouldn't say it's not bad because I love their machines, but when you have a YouTube channel and if, certain companies that you try and build relationships with, when they reach out to you, my experience with Xtool, and I've said you can go back in some of my older videos, you'll see me talk about it. Like my reps have been terrible. Like I don't know why. Like they'll reach out to me and be like, "Hey, can we send you this? Well, will you review that?" And I'll say, "Yeah, sure. Send it. Here's everything you need to know." And then half the time they disappear and I don't hear from them again. And they've done this to me on more than one occasion. And I don't know why. I just don't know if I just happen to pull really bad reps because there's other YouTube creators that I see get, well, damn near every Xtool machine that comes down the road for a review. And mine has been like this. Like sometimes I get them and sometimes I don't. Again, like I said, for me, it's not a big thing because my knife sharpening shop does so well. And if there's a certain tool or a laser or anything, if I want it bad enough, I'm going to buy it myself. I've done it with many machines. I have 3 Tormek machines over there. They've never been given to me by anybody. Tormek's never offered me a machine. It would be really nice if they did. I've been offered other things from other manufacturers who make things for Tormek, but I've never been given a Tormek machine. I've bought every single one of those machines. And that's just how I approach it. Like I don't care one way or another. It's nice if I can get something. There are some companies, like I've said, I have a fantastic relation with ComMarker and I have an awesome rep. She's so great. She always gets back to me. And they are very clear about like what they're looking for. And they never try and direct my reviews as far as what I say. And we've had a great experience and I love their lasers. I use them all the time. I think they are fantastic lasers. And if ComMarker made a CO2 laser, I would want it because I've had just great experiences with them, but they don't. So they, I'm sorry, I don't want to say that. I think they make a Galvo style CO2. I need like a regular full bed CO2. That's what I've been looking for. That's the one thing my shop really just doesn't have. What was the icing on the cake, and I've just been dragging my heels. I could have bought this thing at any time, and I could have just, at any time called up Thunder Laser or Epilogue or anyone and be like, send it. Here's the check. But there was just some part of me that was like, nah, something just kept telling me like, don't do it yet. Don't do it. Like there was just something in the air. There was something I just didn't like. And then I saw this one little clip last week of the CEO of Xtool being interviewed. And they were really talking to him about the new fiber laser that came out, which I think is great, but I also feel like it's kind of overpriced. What happened was somebody said to him during this short little interview, they said, "Hey, what about the P2? I almost pulled the trigger on the P2. That is their CO2 laser, if you're not sure what the P2 is." And they're like, "Are you ever going to do anything new there?" And you guys know how I feel about like when they start dragging their feet, like the entry level, their F1 was a fantastic entry level unit, but they could upgrade it and do some fantastic things. And, that's why I like Lumos and We Create, who reached out to me to review that because it's a fantastic entry level laser. Well, he said, "Oh, the P2, yeah. Like this week, we got some huge news coming out. We're coming out with the P3. And it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be innovative. And it's going to be different than everything before it. It's going to blow your guys' mind. Stay tuned. It's coming this week." And literally 3 days later, in my email, the P3. And I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to show it to you. And I was like, you know what? You did it, Xtool. You got my business. Sorry, US manufacturers. You're all probably great. I don't see, I just feel like you guys are riding the coattails of what you've done in the past. I don't see the innovation. I don't see any attempts to lead the industry. Xtool now is opening up centers here in the United States. They have one in California. They're hiring Americans for tech support. I just like what I'm seeing and everything that they're doing there. So let me show you why I decided to go with the new Xtool P3. So here's the machine, and you can see it's not cheap, but if I'd gone with an Epilogue or a Thunder, I'd probably be paying about $2,000 more than this number right here. And this is something Xtool has always done. I think they were the first company to start doing this. They do this thing where, like, if you pay $100 deposit now saying like, hey, I want this, they give you like a really great price on the very brand new machine. This is a groundbreaking new unit, the P3. It's never been out before. It's to replace the P2. And they're like, hey, put $100 down, you'll get it for $6,000. $5,999. It's going to be $6,999, comes out regular. I was like, all right, I'm in. So let me show you the features that got me. One of the cool features that I've been seeing on diode lasers, and this is still great too if you guys are interested in a diode, the 3D printer market and lasers are now starting to come together and adding that technology to lasers. And this is one of the things that bothers me about these US laser manufacturers. They're not looking to do any of this. They're going to be a decade behind companies like Xtool. So Xtool has got LiDAR in this new laser. So it's going to be able to scan objects. It's going to be able to adjust the height of that laser so it can be engraving things with odd surfaces, which it happens all the time. And it comes up in doing tumblers all the time is one of the places. So it's got this auto lift. So that totally got my attention. They re-engineered the vision system. So it's got like wide cameras, close cameras, autofocus. It's supposed to be the most accurate placement of any of their systems to date. You can see we got a movable Z-axis here. But this caught my attention. It's also going to have a 5-watt IR module. So this big giant bed of a laser is also going to be able to do metal engraving. And I just showed you how great the 3-watt IR is working on this new entry-level laser for the Lumos. So here we're talking a 5-watt. 5 watts going to be pretty darn great. Like, I can't imagine it not being fantastic. So now you're going to have the ability to do big metal engravings with the 5-watt IR module if you want. So that's really cool. It's going to have a pass-through. And here they're showing the new rotary tool. And yeah, see, look at how the head is moving. And that's all 3D printer technology. 3D printers do this all the time. And I know of 2 diode lasers that are getting ready to come out that are using this same technology. So this is where things are going. They are going LiDAR. They're going to be able to read and scan stuff and then be able to engrave that full thing without, having to kind of figure it out on your own, or just being like, oh, I can only engrave the upper part of this tumbler because it would lose focus and not know what to do when I got to hit these lower parts. They're putting all of that technology into this machine. It is gigantic. It's over, I think it's 250 pounds, I think is what I saw. We're talking an 80-watt CO2, so pretty darn powerful. Its work area is 36 by 18. That is a very nice, large work area. And it's probably the biggest of any desktop CO2 laser out there. And then we start getting into a lot of the regular stuff. It's going to have a 16 megapixel camera. It's coming pre-assembled. Automatic creation system. Not sure exactly what that is. Autofocus. There's the LiDAR. Smart camera preview. A lot of very cool new technology. And if you want to see it more, go check out the stuff on Xtool's site. You do have about, I think, 10 more days to still get in on this, where you can put the $100 down to save 1,000. And I did see there is a creator I know that I follow who has a huge following for laser engraving, like 140,000 followers. He did get one. The other great thing is, like, we know the machine's like, it's already created, because they've already sent it out to at least one person that I've seen. And I'm sure there's going to be some other top creators out there getting these as the system, probably as the beta testers to just make sure everything's working well. And there you can see down here, we have the upgrade to the rotary tool. Now, I love the RA2 Pro, but this is going to have an RA3 Pro. I think it's going to be magnetic where it locks into place. So that's kind of cool. And let's see, what are the upgrades to AP2 Max compared to AP2? The AP2 Max is industrial grade version of the AP2 with 3 core upgrades. Performance, it has over 4.6 airflow engineered for heavy duty laser cutters like the P3 and metal fab. Protection, it adds an exclusive formaldehyde filter that decomposes harmful gases into harmless substances. Okay, this is their air filter system. That's what they're talking about. What upgrades to AP2 Max compared to the AP2? So that this is if you don't have a place to filter your CO2 laser outside, you can get this AP2 Max. For me, that won't be an issue. My entire shop has vents that go to the outside. But that's it. So that's going to be my choice for the CO2 laser for the shop. And you guys can let me know what you think. And I'll put some links in here if you want to check it out, or if you want to even take advantage of the $1,000 savings as of right now. So it'll probably be 10 days by the time I get this out, because it's saying 11, and I probably won't get this video edited and out till tomorrow. But you'll probably have about 10 days if you wanted to get in on this deal and get yourself a very innovative CO2 laser. All right, and that's it for now. I've made my decision. I've already paid my deposit, and I will let you guys know how it goes and when it comes in. Could still be a wait. They haven't really said. The launch is on September 10th, but that might just be the official sales launch. I don't believe they'll be shipping units that soon. Let's see. Maybe it's in here. Let's take a look at the specifications or facts. Yeah, I don't see anything about when it's shipping, but it could very well be here. Yeah, Xtool's largest laser yet. This is their biggest laser, 36 by 18, and their fastest too. I forgot to mention this. 1,200 millimeters per second. It's almost double the speed of the P2. So that's also really cool. Most intelligent laser yet. Safest class. It is a class 1 laser. Yeah, and I'm not seeing anything other than that. So no dates yet on when it'll come out. I'm curious. I want to see the schedule a demo room. Please select your preferred demo location. So it looks like they have one in New York, Texas, Utah. Interesting. Please select your demo. Okay, yeah, they don't have the P3 in here yet. All right, well, that's it. I'm going to end this for now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But that's my decision. We're going with Xtool, and I will talk to you all later.